Gluttony is not hunger. Hunger is honest. Hunger is the body speaking from the depths of survival. It says, restore me, feed me, give me strength so I may rise, work, protect, build, and endure. Hunger has a limit because the body has a limit. The stomach fills, the hands return to labor, the meal ends, and gratitude begins. Gluttony is different. Gluttony is appetite severed from need. It is the mouth that never closes because the emptiness it serves is not in the stomach, it is in the soul. The modern world has built an entire civilization around this mouth. It is no longer only a table of excessive food. It is a fulfillment warehouse, a feed, a drive-through, a streaming queue, a vending altar, a recommendation engine, a shopping cart, a delivery chute, a notification tray, a chemical laboratory of flavor and stimulation. The same command pulses through every system, consume again. This is the first deception of gluttony, the illusion of nourishment. You are told that you are being satisfied. You are told that convenience is care, that abundance is blessing, that the ability to summon anything at any hour is freedom. But watch the faces under the light. They are full and still restless. They are entertained and still bored. They are surrounded by options and still anxious. They eat without gratitude, watch without memory, buy without need, scroll without desire, and sleep without restoration. The machine has learned to separate intake from fulfillment. It can make you consume long after hunger has ended. It can make you watch long after curiosity has died. It can make you buy long after usefulness has been met. It can keep the jaw moving, the thumb moving, the cart filling, the queue advancing, the eyes glazed, the body heavy, the soul distant. The old sin sat at the banquet table. The new sin is the banquet table, the advertisement, the delivery system, the factory, the algorithm, the screen, and the waste chute fused into one devouring infrastructure. Look into the central maw. It is not alive, yet it feeds. It has concrete teeth, black glass screens, conveyor belts, packaging slabs, pipes, drains, and cables. Meals, products, images, sounds, opinions, pleasures, and distractions all flow toward it. The crowd believes it is eating. In truth, it is being eaten. Let us inspect the machinery beneath the appetite. The modern appetite is not left alone. It is studied, tested, stimulated, and optimized. Teams of engineers measure the exact point at which flavor becomes irresistible but not satisfying. Platforms measure the exact pace at which novelty keeps the eyes open but prevents rest. Retail systems measure the exact frictionless path between impulse and purchase. The human person is mapped as a bundle of cravings, and each craving is given a button. Gluttony thrives where resistance has been removed. In the physical world, consumption once required effort. Bread had to be baked, meat had to be prepared, a book had to be opened, a conversation had to be endured. A purchase required travel, money counted by hand, and the visible exchange with another human being. These frictions were not perfect, but they slowed the appetite long enough for reason to speak. Now the interval has been destroyed. The craving appears and the system answers instantly. Food arrives without cooking. Entertainment begins without choosing. Products come without walking. Stimulation flows without silence. The body no longer crosses a threshold. The world is delivered into the cell. This is why gluttony and sloth are brothers, but not identical. Sloth sedates the will. Gluttony overloads the appetite. Sloth says, do nothing. Gluttony says, take everything. Together they produce the passive devourer, seated in the dark, surrounded by wrappers, open tabs, half-watched videos, empty boxes, and a mind too overstimulated to pray. The engineering of craving is severe because it does not merely exploit weakness. It manufactures weakness through repetition. Every indulgence teaches the body what to expect. Every instant answer lowers the tolerance for delay. Every hyperpalatable bite makes plain food taste like punishment. Every endless feed makes silence feel like deprivation. The result is a creature who cannot endure enough. Enough feels like starvation to the gluttonous soul because the threshold has been moved. The normal meal feels insufficient. The quiet evening feels empty. The single book feels slow. The plain room feels unbearable. The ordinary human life, with its limits and duties, begins to feel like a prison because the appetite has been trained by machines that know no Sabbath. The mouth widens, the soul thins. Gluttony is not limited to food. Food is only the visible sacrament of a deeper disorder. We live inside a content feast. There is always another video, another opinion, another episode, another argument, another image, another song, another product, another notification, another scandal, another pleasure, another small edible unit of stimulation. The feed is designed like an infinite table where no dish must be chosen with reverence because the next dish is already sliding into view. This abundance produces a strange famine. When everything is available, attention becomes thin. The mind tastes but does not digest. It samples but does not absorb. It moves from signal to signal, never staying long enough for meaning to become flesh. A man may consume 10 hours of words and have no wisdom. He may watch 100 lessons and acquire no discipline. He may collect recipes and never cook, fitness videos and never train, prayers and never kneel. Gluttony loves the appearance of learning because it avoids the obedience of practice. The content glutton confuses intake with transformation. He believes that because he has consumed the idea, he has become the kind of person the idea describes. He watches discipline and feels disciplined. He watches courage and feels brave. He watches holiness and feels cleansed. But when the screen goes dark, the room is unchanged, the body is unchanged, the calendar is unchanged, the will is unchanged. He has eaten the symbol and refused the sacrifice. This is the condition postman warned of in another age, a people drowning in available content until what matters is buried beneath amusement. The tragedy is not merely that people become entertained, it is that entertainment becomes the shape of all intake. Religion must amuse, politics must amuse, education must amuse, suffering must amuse, even collapse must arrive as spectacle or the crowd will swipe away. The gluttonous mind demands that truth be seasoned for easy consumption. But truth is not always palatable. Sometimes truth is bitter. Sometimes it must be chewed slowly. Sometimes it sits in the stomach like stone until the false thing inside you breaks against it. A civilization that can only consume sweetened truth will starve in the presence of reality. The feast continues, the soul remains unfed. Every gluttonous system produces waste. There's physical waste, packaging, plastic, spoiled food, disposable objects, broken devices, fast furniture, garments worn twice, meals ordered and forgotten, boxes stacked like offerings to the god of convenience. The appetite consumes the world and leaves behind a trail of dead material. But there is also interior waste. Wasted attention, wasted mornings, wasted hunger, wasted strength, wasted imagination, wasted silence, wasted disgust that could have become repentance but instead became another order, another episode, another night of numb intake. Gluttony is a disorder of relation to the created world. It treats the world not as gift, not as garden, not as table, not as temple, but as inventory for appetite. Nothing is allowed to be itself. The fruit is not fruit, it is a flavor profile. The animal is not a living creature, it is a unit of cheap protein. The song is not music, it is background stimulation. The book is not a teacher, it is content. The person is not a soul, he is someone to consume, use, follow, sample, discard. Gluttony turns reality into disposable input. This is why the sin has an environmental face and a spiritual face. The overflowing landfill and the exhausted heart are part of the same system. Both are evidence that intake has lost reverence. Both reveal a civilization that knows how to summon more, but not how to receive properly. The old monastic refectory understood something we have forgotten. A meal was not merely fuel. It was ordered. It had a place, a time, a silence, a prayer, a limit. The body ate, but the soul remembered dependence. The table itself became discipline. You did not graze through the day like a restless animal. You sat, you received, you stopped. Stopping is the act gluttony hates most. The devouring infrastructure does not fear your indulgence. It profits from it. It fears your limit. It fears the closed mouth, the empty cart, the finished meal, the turned-off screen, the day of fasting, the evening of silence, the man who can say no without drama and remain at peace. Such a man is no longer a predictable consumer. He has become a witness. The body keeps the score of every false freedom. Modern gluttony promises liberation from limits, but the body is made of limits. It requires rhythm, hunger, satiety, movement, sleep, work, light, darkness, and restraint. When these rhythms are violated, the body does not become free. It becomes confused. The gluttonous age teaches us to despise the body's warnings. Fatigue is patched with stimulants. Anxiety is buried under snacks and noise. Loneliness is fed through the screen. Boredom is treated as an emergency. Sadness is medicated with purchase. Spiritual emptiness is mistaken for a craving. But the body is not stupid. It is often the last honest prophet in a dishonest life. The heavy stomach, the dull mind, the restless sleep, the skin inflamed by excess, the breath shortened by neglect, the shame that follows indulgence, the morning disgust after another night surrendered to intake. These are not random inconveniences. They are alarms in the sanctuary. They are the bells calling the monk back to order. Do not confuse this with hatred of the body. The order does not teach disgust for the flesh. The body is not the enemy. The body is the field entrusted to your command. It must be fed, trained, washed, rested, strengthened, and disciplined. Gluttony hates the body because it uses the body as a dumping ground for spiritual disorder. Temperance honors the body by refusing to make it a landfill. There is masculine dignity in restraint. There is a severe beauty in the man who can sit before excess and remain still. There is power in the one who can feel the craving rise and decline without obeying it. There is sanctity in the body returned to rhythm. Plain food, hard training, cold water, deep sleep, honest labor, silent prayer. The mascot stands in the sunken refectory with empty hands. Around him the belts move. The crowd eats and scrolls. The maw opens wider, but he does not reach. His refusal is not theatrical. It is quiet, complete, and immovable. He knows that appetite is a servant. If it becomes king, the kingdom becomes a stomach. How do we resist the devouring void? We do not resist it by pretending we have no appetites. Appetite is part of being alive. The problem is not that the body hungers. The problem is that the hunger has been enthroned, industrialized, and detached from gratitude. The answer is not numbness. The answer is order. First, restore the threshold. Do not eat everywhere. Do not watch everywhere. Do not buy everywhere. Do not let every room become a feeding station for the appetite. Give consumption a place and a time. Sit at the table. Watch deliberately or not at all. Buy with a list and a reason. Let thresholds return so the soul can recognize when an act begins and when it ends. The second, practice fasting. Fasting is not merely dietary. Fast from food when appropriate. Fast from the feed. Fast from purchasing. Fast from noise. Fast from novelty. Let the craving speak and do not answer immediately. At first, the silence will feel like violence because the appetite has grown arrogant. Endure it. The craving is loud, but it is not sovereign. Third, return to plainness. Eat simple food until the tongue remembers reality. Read one book slowly until the mind remembers depth. Walk without audio until the senses remember the world. Own fewer things until the room can breathe. Speak with one person face to face until conversation becomes human again. Plainness is not poverty. Plainness is clarity. Fourth, bless the limit. Enough is not deprivation. Enough is the border that protects joy from decay. A meal becomes beautiful because it ends. A song becomes powerful because it has silence around it. A feast becomes holy because it is not every day. Pleasure without limit becomes punishment. Limit restores pleasure to its proper rank. Inside the brutalist refectory, the long tables are cleared. The belts are still. The screens are dark. A narrow amber beam falls across the concrete floor. There is bread, water, salt, and silence. No excess, no spectacle, no endless queue. Only provision received with gratitude and then released. This is temperance. Temperance is not weakness, it is command. It is the restoration of hierarchy within the self. The spirit governs the mind governs the appetite serves the body serves the work serves the truth. Close the mouth that never closes, step away from the belt, let the feed go hungry. Welcome to the order, enough is power, temperance is freedom.